Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Wednesday show. I'm Hammer, and I'm joined by my two favorite Wednesday show hosts, Jen T. Maxey.
Hello.
And Terry Diamantis.
Hello.
How you doing, Jen?
I am good. My town does not burn it.
What? Your couch is...
No. We had a town between Alberta and BC. Kind of like my understanding is like a third of the town burnt down.
Jeez.
And it's one of those things I've noticed up here. Whenever it seems like they're threatening more fire, one of the things I understand about this town is it's kind of been surrounded by deadwood for like a couple of years, and you know, you could be like, hey, can we do something about the deadwood? And they're like, no. So I'm a little bit worried about that one because, you know.
Nor the deadwood at your peril.
But on the other hand, I got one up on Sam L, you know, because it's funny, and he's in France. And I was like, hey, you know what I don't have to do? I don't have to pay for the Fag Olympics. Have fun with that, Sam. And he laughed. I did tell him he could do it. You know, you can do it.
Wow, this climate change thing might be somewhat real. You have a town burning down, and you guys heard about the tree, right? Did I tell you about the tree? I didn't tell you about the tree.
Which one?
My tree.
Oh.
We had a tornado go through my neighborhood.
Oh.
Yeah. 82-year-old birch. That's probably, I don't know, 45, 50 feet tall. Came down right next to my house. Almost crushed my house.
Oof.
You guys didn't see the video? I sent it on Twitter. Oh, well, Jen doesn't really watch Twitter.
Yeah, I probably missed it because I do avoid Twitter because I get mad at people.
Yeah. I saw the video that you're talking about, Hammer.
Yeah. So maybe climate change is a thing because we're both running into... No, it's not. I changed my mind. It's not. How you doing, Terry?
You hear that, YouTube? Climate change is real. Don't cancel us.
Right?
Maybe there's something to this.
No, I'm fine. I got annoyed by the garbage guy as always because he's very noisy and he does his thing at too early in the morning, so he woke me up. But you know,
and before the show, you were getting blown.
That is one way to interpret the event. The guy with the leaf blower was being noisy outside, is what he means.
Yeah.
It's all good. It was funny. Like, what?
Why don't we go ahead and say hello to everybody in chat? Then you want to start?
All right. Let me scroll back up so I can say hi to Hammer. Hi, Hammer. Hi, Rotten. Hi, Keeverdam. I know you changed your name, but I'm lazy.
Yeah.
Hi, Frosted. Hi, Cynic. Hi, Green. And I think that is it. That is all.
Rumble?
We had a decent turnout in Rumble. We've got Jack Gunsky, we've got Cynic, we've got Tall Person, we've got Corsten, and JB.
I wonder where Green Badger is. Usually,
he's over on YouTube.
He's over on YouTube. Okay.
Yeah,
He's outdoors over there, though.
Yes.
Green Badger indoors on this side. We probably should go over the topics too while I.
Before you do, Frosted wants me to say, Garbage Day is a very dangerous day.
Okay.
Well, he wanted me to say it, so I did.
You know, it can be like if you don't know how to lift shit, or I had some sympathy with my dad because I realized that my mom overfills bags and then is like, well, he's a man, he can lift it. I'm like, he's kind of old, you know.
Can the bag handle it? You put enough in that bag, it'll rip.
Right? I love my mom, but I'm like, there's times where I'm like, you know, he might be cranky for a reason, right?
Has something to do with the bags.
Just a little.
So we have 3 topics tonight. We have We're Not Racist, All presidents owned slave. All of our presidents owned slaves. This is apparently something that's been around for a while, but I just saw it today on Twitter, so I thought it was interesting. All presidents owned slaves except for Trump.
I think we should clarify. All the president's ancestors owned slaves. I'm pretty sure that Bill Clinton didn't actually have personal slaves, but his ancestors.
Monica, maybe? Who knows?
Maybe you could make the argument.
An argument there. Yeah, all their ancestors. I'm reading off my own notes, and I only have a certain amount of room. It's like Twitter.
Yeah.
To write down my notes, so I have a tendency to.
Yeah, I just wanted to clarify that, because it did sound like you were saying something that was not true.
I don't think Biden has any slaves right now.
Unless you count Kamala.
Oh. But apparently Trump is the only lineage that does not have any slaves. The one person that's been touted as the most racist is the one who is actually the least racist. So, second topic is .indian. Trump says that Harris used to be an Indian, but is now claiming black culture, and he has questions about that. Seems to be quite the thing, because it was all over CNN, it was all over Drudge Report, and even Fox News mentioned it. I was like, well, if everyone's talking about it, then it must have been pretty big.
Well, it's also that he's not wrong, and if they're going to go after him for that, then they're going to have to go after everybody who said it long before he ever did.
But they're always gonna go after him, because how many people have said that she was the border czar, and then the DNC tried to convince us that she wasn't, that was never said, yet we have evidence, like 30 videos out there with everyone saying that she was, and the news is going to cover for it. So the final topic is AI tacos. Taco Bell is testing something in California. They have a couple of Taco Bells out there that are fully automated with AI. They say that the goal of this is to have the entire restaurant run by one person, the person who's taking care of any mistakes. Otherwise, the entire system is going to be completely AI.
I think the correct way to interpret that statement is, we want to fire as many of these idiots who demanded $20 an hour as possible.
That's why they're doing it in California.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I guess they're teaching Gavin Newsom a thing or two. Oh, you want to make everybody, $20? Well, we'll just get rid of everybody. We win.
Yeah.
You can't beat capitalism, man. When it comes to making a buck, you can't beat capitalism. So those are the 3 topics for tonight. Unless you guys had something else you wanted to bring up. I was having a great discussion about video games.
Yeah.
Well, there seems to be a lot in the world. Like where do you start? Like, I was kind of cheering on Venezuela.
Yeah,
I kind of am. I still kind of am. But yeah, all the topics are good. Like, they all lead back to the same stuff. So I think the funnest one was the video game thing. For the record, ARC. I know you guys do your MMOs, but ARC. Reasons it was fun with friends was because it kind of was your own pace, Out of everybody that we played with, Cynic probably, for a guy who'd never played it before, kind of launched into it and ran circles around everybody. But he also picked the neighborhood where the Giga jokes applied, because once a Giga spawns into your neighborhood, the neighborhood's kind of dead.
Just a slight clarification. I'm no longer an MMO guy. I'm a Dota guy.
Yeah. I've never played an MMO, unless you count the MOD, which kind of is like a proto MMO, I guess. But apart from the Discord mod, I never played World of Warcraft. I never played, Knights of the Republic or whatever the BioWare one was. Never played any of them except for that one Discord mod.
I did play a lot of MUDs, because they would come out and say, this is going to be the new WoW killer. This is back when I was playing WoW. And no, it wasn't. None of them were. Rift was one of them. Aeon was one of them. But none of them ever really laid a finger on WoW. To this day, all those MUDs are all free to play now, because no one's playing them.
If your marketing is, we are better than this other game, that's probably a bad sign because you're probably copying the thing that you're claiming to be better than too much.
Mm-hmm.
Like if you're like better than WoW, okay, why? Like what? You not only have to be a better game, but you have to be enough to lure people away from their
Yeah.
friends.
You have to be inventive on top of it.
Hmm.
You mean
Yeah.
kind of like Concord, which has been funny to watch?
What's Concord?
It's based off League of Legends, only you
Oh,
have to
okay.
pay for it. And the characters are very woke, so
Oh, fun.
very
Really?
unattractive. Oh yeah.
Wow.
Let's see if I can find pictures of it, because like I've been watching a guy really cover it, but some of the characters are just special.
That actually reminds me. I saw on Twitter today, Capcom is losing money hand over fist ever since they started going woke. I was like, okay,
Yep.
well, that's
Yep.
what you get.
The axiom rings true. Get woke, go broke.
Yes. Though Razor Fist has an alternative spin, which is go broke, get woke, then ultimately croak. Because he maintains that people have the order wrong. The companies are losing money, so they go woke in order to get money from BlackRock and Vanguard. It's not like they don't go woke just because they're low on money, so they will start going woke so that they can qualify for the BlackRock and Vanguard loans, and then they piss off all their customers and go broke and like croak.
I have to argue. I have to argue that one because Disney was doing just great with all those Marvel movies. They were getting money hand over fist, and then they turned the Marvel universe into the MCU instead of the MCU, and that's where it all went downhill. So
Sure.
they were already making hammer a foot. They went broke, and now, but apparently Wolverine and Deadpool, the latest version of Deadpool, really, really good.
Okay, that's good.
Like it's breaking records and shit like that. So
yeah, I'm not saying which way around it is. I'm just saying that's what Razor Fist claims, and I can see that it makes sense in a majority of cases. Marvel may be an exception, but it makes sense that there would need to be some sort of impetus for them to just start doing the woke bullshit. And that is that they're losing money and they need to qualify for ESG loans.
You see Keyword M finish the sentence?
Become a joke.
Become a joke.
That's true.
That's
Marvel
a great way to end it. It will go broke, become a joke. I like it.
So
yeah, but I just saw the Lauren Chen just did a Mediaholic on Deadpool Wolverine. No wokeness, lots of fan service. Typical Deadpool jokes, R rating, just like already, and it's like ripping the whatchamacallit, the cinemas, like crazy.
I think woke is starting to lose its influence a little bit because we are seeing more and more of these. It's like, no, we're going to make what the fans actually want because we need fans, otherwise. Like the ESG money is nice, but it's not enough. We need actual fans to watch our movies.
I'll agree with you if they cancel the Star Wars TV show, the Acolyte.
Yeah, fair point.
If they cancel that, then I'll agree with you because that's recent and that's extraordinarily woke. To the point where it's like trash because it became woke. It just went right off the deep end.
Maybe they're trying to appease both then. Maybe they're trying to be woke enough that BlackRock and Vanguard will still give them money, but have some non-woke projects so that they don't entirely lose their audience. That makes sense because they can't just give up the ESG money. They need that.
Yeah.
So they probably have to keep some level of wokeness.
Well, like I said, I would never watch it. I don't watch TV anyway, but I do watch Lauren for her political channel. I figure, okay, well, I'm in the movies. She's in the movies with Mediaholic. I'll watch the media channel too. And she goes over at the Acolyte. She's more of a movie person, and she has a little shtick. It's very interesting to watch her show. I'm gonna plug it, even though she banned me, bitch.
Uh,
But anyway, she was like, this is the first episode, and it's a little woke, but it's okay, and it talks about this and it talks about that, but things are going awfully fast. Like, a lot of things are happening in a very short period of time, so you're not getting bored, but it's
Right.
getting hard to understand. And then as time goes by, she's like, episode 4, almost nothing happened because everything happened in the first 3 episodes, you know? So you can see the pacing was wrong and the writing was not good over time. It just gotten worse and worse. And then they just started, you know, throwing heaping buckets of woke into it. And just,
I think
that's going to be it.
I've seen it done relatively well in shows like Brooklyn Nine-Nine and The Good Place, where they most of the time keep the wokeness out of it, but they'll just like slip in
A line
occasional
here and
bits
there.
of it. And it's like it's momentarily annoying, but it doesn't detract from the overall story. Like in The Good Place, like they're going through a list of all the crimes this person has committed, and one of them was like mansplaining. So like
Great.
it just scrolls past the screen fairly quickly. So it's like if you catch it, you'll get annoyed for like a couple of seconds, but it's not a major part of the story. It's just like a quick reference to appease the woke gods and then get on with things.
There was a bipartisan group set up to talk to the Secret Service about the shot at Trump. And
oh, right.
AOC was on it, and she was doing well. She sounded like a Republican. She's like, "Do you think we can do this?" And blah, 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 blah. She was very, and she said, and as she's talking, she had to bring up a woke point. I was like, look at her go. She's reasonable. Look at this. This is amazing. She's being good and thorough, and you know, I was very happy to see this because I didn't think it was possible. And then she got to the fact that he was using a gun, and she says, of course, he uses a gun that's most likely to kill kids. But anyway, I was like, you were doing so well, but you just had to get that little dig in there. You just couldn't let it go. And the thing is, it's a big lie. Why would you? What advantage do you have by putting woke crap in there that has been disproven so many times? I mean, Biden does it all the time. You kind of expect that, but it just kind of came out of nowhere.
Yeah, no, it's annoying.
So, yeah, I know what you mean by we'll just throw a little zinger in every now and then because that's what she did. By the way, the claim is that the biggest killer of kids is guns. You'll hear them say children. Yeah, they'll say that the number one leading reason when kids are killed is because of guns, and it's not true. I actually debunked it once myself. So if you go from like 0 to 5, it's drowning. If you go from 5 to 12, it's car accidents and sickness. If it's between 12 and 15, it's drugs and other accidents, you know, just nebulous accidents. And it only gets to the point where guns are the primary reason when you get up around 17, 18, 19. At that point, you're not really children anymore.
No.
You're more of a young adult, but anything below 21 to them is children. So they can get away with saying it, but it comes right down to whether it's true or not. It's kind of a lie. So anyway, pet peeve.
The leading cause of death in children is pissing me off. They should just don't do it.
Terry's perspective on this is not the perspective of this channel. Just
and Tia says abortion is the leading killer of kids. I wouldn't say that. Actually, I wouldn't say that a fetus is a kid. I think a kid is someone that's already been born.
Well, their term is child.
Right. No. I think if you're going to say a child, then yes, because I mean it's an unborn child.
Right.
But a kid, in the colloquial sense, to me means they've already been born in there. Like I would say, a kid is like over the age of like 5 or 6. So like if you're
there's a lot of fine tuning when you're talking about this kind of stuff. I just pointed out the difference between child and young adult. but
Yes,
there's
yes.
toddler and all these little
Of
things
course,
in
yeah.
between. And you're right. I think kid is once they're born, maybe after a year
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
or 2 years, you become a kid.
Yeah.
Generally, I don't think there's
Like,
anything written in stone that says, "Well, all
no,
2-year-olds are."
yeah, yeah, yeah.
But
Not
yeah,
it's not like a hard defined limit, but yeah, if I hear the word kid, I'm not thinking of like these recently born baby. To me, that's a baby, not a kid.
yeah. So that's another pet peeve in me. We don't want to get on abortion.
Yeah.
I don't care about talking about it, but I'll just start yelling in the microphone. You guys don't want to hear me do that, so
And Rotten in chat says he thought a kid was a baby goat. It is.
it
That is
is.
also the term
It
for a
is.
baby.
I find that, by the way, the whole idea of how you group animals, the name of the group that you give to animals,
Yes.
I think that's a fascinating thing. Every time I hear somebody come up with one that I've never heard before, I mean, I was floored when somebody said a bunch of crows is a murder. I was like, what?
Yeah.
Murder of crows? That is so cool. And there are a lot of things like that. Like goats are called kids. Where the fuck did that come from?
No, it is cool when they have like clever names like that. Like a school of fish. It's like
Yeah,
why a school?
Why? But cool. But why?
Yeah.
I wonder if there's there's got to be a book or a web page or something like that that lists like 100 of them. You know,
Oh yeah, there's got to be. I'm sure there is
somewhere. I don't even know how you would find it because I don't even know what you call. How would you search on groups of animals by names that are not? How would you use? What kind of search? It had to be some kind of AI search to find something like that. I don't know how you would word it.
You just need to find the correct term for that, like group descriptor, animal group names. There's got to be like a specific term for that, and then if you search for whatever that word is, you'll get the result.
I don't know what that word is either. I'll tell you if Assassin of the Gray was here, he would know.
Probably.
He knows everything. His job is to get on the channel and correct me. He's very good at it.
Oh, he is. He's very knowledgeable, or very quick to Google. One of the two.
Yes, I think he has Google Foo. I used to have good Google Foo. I can't feel my fingers as well as I used to, so my Google Foo has gone away quite a bit. But he's really good for it. He takes joy in it, I think.
Oh no, absolutely he does. Rotten is saying a group of apes is called a congress. He thinks.
Congress. Where do they come up with these things? A Congress?
And Tyr is saying the collective name. That's it. The collective name for the animals. If you search for that, I'm sure you'll find a list of.
I'll try to keep that in mind.
Ones.
I just think it's a where did that's the thing about that makes me so interested in it is that where did they come up with these names? You know,
I don't know if Rusted is trolling or not, but he says a group of pandas is called an embarrassment.
If that were true,
it may be. Like there's weirder names out there.
Yeah, someone send me a link. I want to look at them. And, everyone's out there on Google now trying to find out what all the names are. That's good. That's good. My research assistants. Anyway. So, yeah, we can get to some topics. We've been blabbering on long enough, I guess, right?
Yes, we should probably cover at least one of them.
Because there are nights when we cover none of them, right?
Yes.
So let's try to get to one tonight. Which one would you like to do, Jen? Welcome back, by the way.
Yeah.
Canadian internet.
I don't know. I'm a little bit mildly distracted by tears showing up because I have a picture of his bones in a box full of Cheetos and a Kefki, and apparently she's eating them. I didn't know about this.
Ew.
I had no part in that. I just drew a picture. I don't know. You pick one, Terry.
I want to talk about AI tacos then.
Yee.
AI tacos?
Yes.
Well, we kind of brushed on it a little bit, but yeah, Taco Bell is planning on converting all of their Taco Bells, starting in California, but going across the entire nation, so that it'll come down to one person in the building who opens up the shop, because they're not 24-hour, who
Yes.
opens up the shop, and he stays there the entire day monitoring the systems. Eventually, once they get all the bugs worked out, one guy will cover an area. So
That makes sense.
the Taco Bells will be completely and entirely unmanned. Will be automated with robots and AI.
Good on them. If they've got the tech to do it, good on them.
This is turning into Demolition Man.
I
haven't seen that.
I don't think I don't think it's going to work out the way that they necessarily think. And I say this as somebody who was watching Japan do this kind of crap a while back.
Mm-hmm.
And the first thing I can think of is this AI omelet maker. And every time it makes this omelet, it's all lopsided.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and it makes me wonder, like, is it cooked lopsided too?
Is one side raw and the other side burnt?
You know, it is one of those things where, like, AI can do a lot of things. Like, they have you know, they have vending machines where, you know, I don't know if the things are placed in the vending machines there or if they're baked in them, but they have both. Like, I've seen both.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like little cake makers or little pizzas, but some things are easy to do and other things are not. And they're going to have a lot of really crappy AI before they get really good AI. Not when you're comparing it to, like, but for, like, McDonald's, yeah, because it's AI might even do a better job. It might actually put the right products in your bag.
Well, they've already got 5 restaurants that are doing it, and they have people there to cover in case the AI does something stupid. So they're running the trial now with five stores. That process, this is something that Philly D always says. He says that AI right now is the worst it's ever going to be.
It's only going to get better.
Right, it's only going to get better from here.
Which is true. I mean, we might end up at a point where cooking is just something you do in a game, and it's AI doing it for you.
Yeah.
You know, but, well, we're going to lose a lot of recipes.
I don't have a problem with AI getting better. Like, I know a lot of people are worried about it taking people's jobs, but I mean, cars took away, you know, carriage drivers as a job. I mean,
they get taxi drivers.
Yeah, I mean, sure, it sucks if you lose your job to AI, but new jobs will appear in the market. There'll be a demand for some other thing. Yeah, I don't have a problem with it.
Well, like with the idea of things will always get better. Right now, Teslas are pretty good at driving themselves. You know, you have to be in there. You have to hold on to the steering wheel. You can fake it out, but it's designed that you have to be touching and be awake and all that kind of stuff. They have now some of these cars that are doing AI are now looking at your eyes to see if your eyes are open or closed, or if your eyes are looking at the road or not. So they're that specific about this. But I don't see a problem at some point where completely automated cars are going to be the only thing that's on the road. You won't own a car anymore. Right. You'll type in something into your phone and a car will show up. And you'll get in it and it will take you, and there will be nobody there.
Tyrion chat says, how will AI take precise orders like cheeseburger, no cheese? That's not a cheeseburger. Like, by definition, that's not a cheeseburger. And right, but the answer is, you know, those kiosks where you order and you don't have to talk to anyone. That is how they will take the order. Like, if you can't input it in one of those kiosks, you can't order it.
Well, which is always that's gonna be a problem, because I'm not pinning this on elderly, because I do know elderly people who are very good with tech,
and they'll die anyway.
But all the same, when you get to a certain age and you end up like, say, Joe Biden, yeah, you're not using a kiosk.
Sure, but that's only because the people who are like 80 years old now didn't grow up with the technology. When I am 80 years old, I will still be able to order through a kiosk. I won't lose that knowledge.
That's kind of not what I mean with Joe Biden, though. I mean, he doesn't know.
No, but
She's
like,
just ripping on Joe
but like
Biden.
if you go senile, then you can't order at the counter either. Like you're going to need someone to order for you if you get to the point of complete senility. So no, I don't think there's a problem with replacing the human stuff with kiosks, and if they've got the way to auto cook the burgers and stuff, yeah, let them use it. As long as it's making food that's safe to eat, I've got no problem.
I mean,
as long as they can understand the words that you're saying, the AI can figure out what you want to do. So there's speech recognition part that has to be good. Then the AI has to be good. And then the robots have to be good. So you got a lot of failure points. But if you get them all in line, I don't see why a completely automated food place would be a problem.
No, not at all.
I can bring up my phone right now and say, hey, Siri, and then say something. And she's pretty good at getting it. I mean, not so much when she's doing text to speech in like a Twitter kind of format, but if I ask her for, directions to somewhere, she understands what I'm saying.
You know what I think it is? I think if you're asking for directions, you're probably speaking slowly and clearly to make sure it understands. But if you're like, speaking a tweet, you're saying it like you would talk normally, and it doesn't pick up quite as well.
I could still see them needing at least one person on hand. It's one of those things where I call it out with like Walmart as an example. Like, yes, I'd say 80% of people can figure out their own cash.
Yeah, we're just up the road from me, well, a bit further than that, but there's a completely unmanned laundromat. Mm-hmm. Like it's just nothing but machines, and like there's a change machine because you need coins for the machines. There's like a whole bunch of washers and dryers, and like there is someone who comes in, like maintains the machines, but they only have to be there like once a week or whatever. They don't need to be on the premises all that often. So I can go in there. I mean, I have my own washing machine now, but I could go in there and there'd be like 0 people, and I've very rarely seen any staff.
So Terry, one of the things you also aren't seeing is the stuff on the video cameras that you're not allowed to watch, because then you would find yourself laughing at people. I'm saying this mercilessly as somebody who's watched cash, and for those kind of places, yes, most normal people can figure out how to make them run. But the problem is the error is humans are kind of dumb. So like if I were to take like Walmart as an example, most decent sized Walmarts have 20 self-checkouts because they're easy to squeeze them in. But say on a good day they had 4 people on cash, because they always have 4 people manning that shit. There's going to be at least 8 people who don't know what they're doing, because they're like, I don't know what this fruit is. Why do I have to change the type of fruit when I measure it? Most people could be more intelligent than they are.
And
that's why you're not allowed to watch those videos, because you'd rip on people too much.
But like in chat, Gabby says that she saw a meme about someone who ordered a nothing burger and that confused the staff. And Rodney's saying the harder part would be custom drive-through orders. Well, that all comes back to there will be a kiosk. If you can't order it from the kiosk, you can't order it. It doesn't matter if you want a nothing burger. If that's not an option in the kiosk menu, then you can't order it. That's what's going to happen.
Yeah, I agree with you for the most part with the AI. I'm just saying for the first while, they are going to have people still babysitting.
Like, this is the long-term goal. This is like they're not going to do this tomorrow. I'm just saying that the eventual situation is if they can get the AI good enough to cook food and have it be completely safe and still taste good, they'd be fools not to use it. If they can replace all the human stuff with kiosks, it's probably not possible yet, because, as you say, there's people who haven't grown up with the tech that don't know how to use it.
Well, that and just people who aren't quick with picking up instructions.
Sure.
So
But-
yet again, one of my first jobs was the first time that I realized that people are more soft than they appear.
yeah.
And basic instructions is a door that says open and one that says nothing at all. And yet
But-
somehow I was close enough to those doors to hear a thunk at least once every shift,
Sure.
if not
No.
twice.
Well, there's always going to be idiots, but I'm just saying that if they can get the tech to the point where they can replace the human staff, they would be stupid not to.
But that
Yeah.
is a basic one that I would like to see them upgrade, because there are still screen doors that don't work properly. And it's one of those things where, like, that should be an overall, like, efficient thing by now, because we've had those for a long ass time. You know, you've got screen, you know, instant screen doors at convenience stores and gas stations where they lock automatically because of a safe, like, it's a safety thing. But you know that you can implement that kind of technology. So why? Yeah, there's a lot. Yeah, a lot of places are cheap about that shit. I'm like,
well, no, but if it's more profitable to replace humans with AI, then they will. Like, that's just going to happen.
Yep.
If it's too expensive, if the AI still costs more than it's worth, then no, they won't. They'll stick with humans. But it'll come down to money. Whatever's making them more money is what they'll do.
Always comes down to money.
And in chat, Rotten says, highly unlikely that they'd use a kiosk at a drive-through. That's just going to be stolen. Well, there you go. That's one of the jobs that can be created. Sure, there's no demand for a human to take the orders, but now you need security guards to make sure no one steals the kiosks. There you go. Job created.
The drive-through already has a menu sitting in front of you. They just make that a touchscreen. That's all.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
that's not what they're talking about. There's been a few times where people on the street found out that they bought a free screen from KFC because somebody stole the screen.
Sure, but like, if they don't have to pay humans to take orders, then they can use that money to hire guards, like security guards, to make sure no one steals the kiosks and the screens. Like, there you go.
Also, don't buy screens from randos on the street. That might be your first plan.
I think custom screen too, so that if you try to remove it, you just destroy it. Yeah. And of course, the kiosk will have cameras built into it. So if you walk up to the camera to destroy it, it's going to take a picture of you first. So you could work around a lot of those things. But my thought is, right now, you drive up to a menu and you say your order, and you drive around, pay for it, then drive around and pick it up. Well, all of that could be automated exactly the way it is now. You pull up to a quote unquote kiosk that you just tell it what you want. It would already know all the choices you could make, because it would be right there on the screen. And if it was not on the screen, you couldn't make it.
Yeah, exactly.
So I don't see any reason why. The only problem is, my idea, the thing that I think that would be the part that would have a tendency to break, are the robots and the actual cooking of the food, and the robots and that end. That's where I think that you would have the problem, not the AI and not the voice recognition.
You know what I think? I think accents might be a problem. So you just need a sign that says "No Scottish people." we do not serve Scottish people at this McDonald's.
Is Tailed in chat? What are you doing? Who are you?
No. I was thinking of Dankula, just because.
Oh, Dankula, right? Of course, the kiosks there, because it's in Scotland, would be designed for. So if I went to a Scottish kiosk and tried to say something, and have no idea what I was talking about.
No. I mean, the ones in America should just have signs saying they're Scottish people, or whatever accent you struggle with, like no Indians. There you go.
Not sure if there's the only thing I could think of is that the deep South gets a little. It gets a little, because they have enough extra words and idioms that they use that I don't hear in the North. So, they have a tendency to call everything honey or sweetie at the end and stuff like that, where the computer would be like,
oh, that would be so funny if all their burgers had honey, like as an ingredient, because it misunderstood the way the Southerners were talking.
It actually is something that McDonald's sells for their chicken McNuggets.
There you go. So you go, oh, honey, can I have put honey on the burger?
Well, you ordered it with honey. It says right here on the receipt.
Yeah.
Yeah, I still
And-
order the honey with the McNuggets. Yeah.
Yeah.
and,
I know it's childish, but I'm like, I don't care.
I
It's
get
not
to-
even good honey.
It really isn't. It really isn't. I've tried it because I like this, sweets as much as anybody does. But yeah, I get the sweet and sour sauce or barbecue.
I don't really eat the nuggets. I usually just get the burgers from McDonald's. So I don't have a preferred sauce because I just don't eat the nuggets.
You guys are making my mouth water. I'm gonna have to buy McDonald's tonight after the show.
Yeah, fair enough.
Well,
Yeah.
I'll be fair with you, Terry. The nuggets were better when I was a kid, like significantly better.
Yeah, and the Big Macs were bigger. There's no denying that the quality and quantity has diminished over the years. Thank you, inflation.
It's like every 4 to 5 years is noticeable. Like I would say like the last time I genuinely really liked them was maybe 10 years ago.
They still taste the same. They're just a lot smaller. They're more almost like a slider now. They're so small.
Yeah.
You know what the great part is?
I mean,
you can't really do that with a quarter pounder.
Yeah, no, but they raise the price. The
Yeah, they can raise the
pounder
price. That's fine. If you want to raise the price, that's fine. Just don't make my sandwich smaller. I don't like that.
No, I remember when I was younger, like one Big Mac was like a lot. Like you would be full after eating it. Now it's like tiny. Now I could eat like 2 of them.
Yeah. Keywordam says nuggets are greater than burgers.
Okay, no, that's fine. You can eat nuggets. I'll eat burgers. There you go.
You know what I order from McDonald's almost every time?
What's
Fillet
that?
of fish.
Yeah, no, I do like the fillet of fish. That is good.
Love that. I get a double fillet of fish and some fries. And that's it. I don't get anything else.
I typically have one of 2 options. Either I'll go the double quarter pounder or the Big Mac or like one of the beef things, or I'll go the one fillet of fish and one McChicken, and like just that'll be
One
the
fillet
thing.
of fish and one McChicken. Yeah, I haven't had a McChicken in forever. Is everybody voted for the poll? By the way, I put the poll out, guys. So if you're just listening to us, not watching, the poll's been up for 5 minutes.
I have voted.
I did too.
Oh no, because I voted too, and we're tied.
Oops.
But I kind of it's not that I side with Keeverdam. It's more of just I remember yet again, it's one of those things when you know what McDonald's was like when you were a kid. The burgers were better when you were a kid. So by default, I would have liked the burgers better back then. So if I have to pick between the burgers right now and like a chicken fillet or like nuggets, yeah, I kind of tend to do that because the burgers just aren't good. Like I come from a beef province, it's kind of like you guys, Terry. You know when you're a barbecue area and they give you a shit patty of beef and you're like, what the fuck is this? What the hell is that? Put some cow on my sandwich, please.
Yeah. I think Hammer should just make an executive decision. Like if the poll is still tied when
it's been broken. The tie's been broken.
Yeah. But if when you call the poll it's tied, just make an executive decision. Say, yep, I'm picking this one.
Okay. We should let Jen pick.
That works too.
Yeah.
I was just saying you should pick because it's your poll. But if you want Jen to pick, that also works.
No, I think Jen picks that way she can exert her female privilege.
Excellent. That is a good system.
The best part about this is if I pick it, it's going to be completely random.
No. You've got to pick between the 2 tied options. You can't just pick a random one. It's got to be one of the 2 options.
By default, though, Terry, it's still going to be random.
No, that's fine.
Do you know these? Do you know these songs?
I'm not sure. It's one of those things where I think I do, but until I hear it, I'm not sure because I missed that part.
So let me ask you this. You heard I played the music for you when you joined the Rumble channel earlier, so you know the lengths of the songs. Do you think I can get away with playing that for Jen and YouTube would cancel us, or what do you think would happen?
I think
they're so short.
It's probably okay only because you'll probably get a copyright claim where they would run ads on the stream and they take the money. But I don't think the stream would get shut down. I'm pretty sure that's safe.
I don't think we would get a strike, right?
I'm pretty confident that with how short the clips are, you should be fine.
All right. So I'm only going to do this time. I'm never going to do this again. But what I'll do is, because I usually wait until Jen's in the stream on Rumble before I play the music, so that she hears the music and she knows what the songs sound like. But I played it too soon before Jen got here, and so she didn't hear it. So I'm going to play it again, and we'll see if YouTube gets scared with me. These are the 4 songs for tonight.
And it's
Okay.
Those are the 4 songs for tonight, just to give you a quick. I play this. You guys don't know because you guys only hear the show from a listener's perspective. But I put this together before every show so that everybody in the show knows what all the songs really sound like.
Yes.
Yeah, I think I picked for the last one because it was the one that I recognized the name of. But like when I hear, but when I hear the music, I do recognize them. It's just one of those things where I don't ever associate the songs with the names of the song because I'm like, what part of this is about tush?
Yeah. You see what Tier put on YouTube?
Yeah, he said, "Oh, Reject is going to murder you."
I think those are short enough. Isn't it like 11 seconds? You can't you get 11 seconds of anything and you're okay, or is it 9 seconds? But those were all like 2 and 3 seconds. There was nothing to, especially Tush. Tush was like not even a full sentence. Everybody down the green one. Yeah, but I mean, I do that for every show. You guys don't know about that, but when we do that on Rumble, anybody who listens to the Rumble stream could potentially hear it if I play it late enough. I usually play it when Terry joins.
Yes.
And Jen joins.
Frosted says that if he was listening with his mum, he'd pick legs. And for those that don't understand why that's funny, Frosted's mum was in an accident and lost. I don't know if it was the whole leg or just the bottom, but one of her legs was amputated. So that is why he's saying that.
Your mom should kick you for that one. Just saying.
Well played.
So tonight's winner is Dark Dress Man. My favorite was Give Me All Your Lovin'. When we were speaking about it earlier tonight, we were convinced that Legs was going to be a runaway on this one.
Yeah, I thought it was going to be between Sharp Dressed Man and Legs, but Legs got 9%, so that's only one vote.
So that'll be the outro tonight. So I'll go ahead and take care of that. What else do we have in the topics list that you want to talk about?
Racist and Indian are the 2 remaining.
You picked the last one. Jen, you want to pick this one? Did you pick the last one?
No, Terry did. I feel like both are going to blend into the same thing anyway. Somehow. Okay. So let's go with racist. Because that's funny.
Well, yeah, well, I got to stop announcing the subjects and then discussing them because we kind of already touched on that too. And Terry pointed out that it's not the current president that has slaves, but all the presidents in the United States in their lineage at some point owned slaves, except for Trump. He's the only person who. It's funny.
I do like that this will not change if Kamala wins the election.
Yeah,
if Kamala wins the election, Trump will still be the only one that didn't have slave holders in his ancestry.
Yeah, it turns out that because she's half Jamaican, half black. Is that correct, or is she half Jamaican, half white?
No, it's Jamaican and Indian.
It's,
Indian, right?
But her mom, from my understanding, her mom was still white. She's a blend. She's a full-on blend.
Yeah, she's Jamaican and Indian, I believe, is the combination.
What do they call that for canines? A mutt?
Yep.
She's a mutt. And I like that.
Good. Well, it's just from what I've seen lately, anytime she brings up racism, a lot of the times it's people calling her out for her behavior, like in front of the Black community. So, like,
Well, the reason that this is in the topics is because when I signed on and started doing work on what I was going to put in for the show tonight, I went through Twitter and Twitter gave me the Taco Bell thing, but I checked Drudge Report first. I always get a Drudge Report. It's kind of like going to CNN or something like that because they're all very left wing.
Yes.
And it was the first thing, and not only was it the first thing, but it was in big letters, bigger than normal. The big picture, bigger than normal. I was like, "What is all this? You know, there must be something good." So I read it. It was about, you know, the whole fact that, you know, the whole slave thing. So I was like, okay. So I wrote that down, but I didn't think too much of it because I figured I'd probably get something on Fox News or CNN or something like that. That would be better. So I got to CNN, and it's first subject on their page too. I'm like, what's going on here with this? You know, Trump says this, Trump says, why is this such a big thing? And I realized because Trump said it.
Yeah.
If Trump says it, it's an issue, you know?
Yep.
And then I was like, all right, yeah, well, that's the left-wing media. We know that they're going to be all over. I go to Fox News, first one there too. I was like, dang, everybody's talking about this. So I figured for once that I would pick something that's the most topical, even if it's not really something I want to talk about on the show. So that's why I was like, so he sat down with an interviewer, and the interviewer is being very belligerent with him because all interviews are belligerent with Trump.
Of course.
You know, and got him pissed off. And he started saying things about how she used to be Indian and now she claims that she's Black. And of course, whenever you're talking about race and claims, that's going to be incendiary. And that's exactly what's happened. It's now the big talking point. Trump just could not keep his fucking mouth shut. He had to get into a race question, you know, and now it's all over the news. But of course, by doing that, he's taken some of the focus off of the fact that she's the latest and greatest thing and everyone loves her.
It's the part where he doesn't know the right language for what he's trying to talk about. Yep. It's one of those things where, like, maybe he's conflating her with Elizabeth Warren, where it's a little bit wrong. She does have, you know, the ancestry that she has. What she is actually doing, though, is still kind of racist. Because if I were, okay, I'm going to throw my cousins out there because they're half Black. If they were to do that, it's called a one drop rule for a reason, because you aren't just a Black person when you're half. You're also a white person, you know, and regardless of what you do, they're going to attack him for his point, because that's what they are with him. But he does have something of an idea of where he's going for. It's just he honestly isn't the guy to go to for that conversation. If I were Trump, I would be full brutal and bring out Thomas Sowell, because he'll tell you.
Oh my God.
That's what I would do, Trump. I would bring him out, because in all honesty, if there's a guy who could run circles around the Democrats in terms of, yeah, I know you're a bunch of ignorant retards, he absolutely could do it. Oh, yeah. And it would be fair game because of what they did to him. Sorry, I'd love to see that.
Soul would be amazing. He's a very, very smart man, especially when it comes to subjects like this. Him and Dad Sad are pretty brutal together.
I also remember what they did to him, though. Like, you do know that he was, you know, wasn't he a politician? Thomas Sowell?
I don't know his background. I know he's some kind of professor of some sort.
I just remember there's a really famous scene with him in the court where I don't know which Democrat it was, but somebody was really talking down to him like he wasn't educated.
That's a mistake. That's a mistake.
Yeah, like treating him like because as much as the Democrats like to cry about how we'll protect the DEI, they were calling people out for DEI a lot sooner. You know, because Thomas was one of them.
Tier in chat is being weird. He's saying, Jen, your cousins aren't Black. You have to be American of African descent. Canadians are not American. But by his definition, Kenyans aren't Black. But if they moved to America and had kids, the kids would be Black. Like, that is insane. That makes zero sense to me. I don't know where he got this idea from, but it is bizarre.
I can understand Jamaica not being African American because they're not.
No. There's a
But
difference
not
between black and
Black
African American.
black is a color, you know.
Yes, that's my point. But, like,
Because Kamala is not African American either, but she is black.
no, she's not.
Everyone agrees, you know, for the basics that she is black. So I see a difference between African American and black.
Absolutely.
Black African Americans use the word black to mean them, but when somebody who's Jamaican, who is dark skinned, they're black, but they're not African American.
Exactly.
I think that's part of what they mean. Sometimes when they say stuff like that, they're literally meaning they're a different black. Like, Africans are a different black, even different regions of Africa, different black. So, like, when they're talking about the U.S., they mean, yeah, she's not our black.
Okay. So when people say black in America, the connotation is usually African American. Like, when someone refers to black culture, they're typically referring to African American culture. But that doesn't change the fact that if you look at her skin and decide what color it is, it's brown. It's like, I could say she's not black, she's brown, but you can't say that, you know.
You could tell that she would have no problems fitting in with the Indian community. And that's actually the thing that they should be pointing out. Because the thing with my cousins, and I don't like throwing them out there because they're my family. When they were growing up, because they were mixed, you knew that they were half black. But as you get older, you start to look different. Like, your melanin goes away. You change hairstyles. Like, there was a point where my cousin would make a joke that when he would come up to visit us from the US, that he would get stopped at the border because they thought he was faking it as a black man. They thought he was native, because his skin lightened just enough.
It's like Inuit. Is that what the natives are called in Canada?
Oh, we have different tribes entirely. Like, we have a lot of Cree, we have a lot of Blackfoot, a lot of names I can't pronounce, and I'm not going to pretend like I can.
There's a whole group of people up north, though, they're not black, are they?
Yeah, our Inuits our Inuits are different tribes. Yeah, I just don't know their names because they have different names too.
Oh, okay. I didn't know.
But like, the thing with being mixed, like, you do sometimes kind of look like other people. Like, Russell Peter would joke about being an Indian in Italy, because sometimes you get people from India who have just light enough of a skin, but it's still an olive tan that people don't know. And they'll start making hand gestures at each other. And, in Italy, that means something else. In India, it means I'm hungry. You're going to give me food. In Italy, you might be telling someone to fuck off.
She says either black is a phenotype or isn't. I had to look up what a phenotype is. If it's just an observable characteristic, then yes, it is. It's a color. It's a skin color. It's if your skin is dark, then I think it's fair to call you black. Like, if you're going to say Zuby is not black because he's English, that is retarded to me. That doesn't make the least bit of sense.
Well, the other thing too is, like, the biggest community of all is still going to be Asian. Like, you don't even have to look at, like, the neck of the woods that's just China. India is also part of Asia. They also have links to that. Humans have blended for a really long time. So it's kind of hard to be like, oh, that brown person, this brown person. And I remember when I was a kid, Terry, and I know you're old enough to remember too, but somehow magically we were supposed to know who everybody was because we were white. And if you didn't know, you were racist. And we were kind of like, well, can you at least tell us first? Give us a clue. Because, the only thing we have to go by is, like, accents and shit. And I don't speak yours at all.
Yeah.
No.
He seems rather worked up about it. He's saying dark-skinned Spanish people aren't black. They can be. I mean, if their skin is dark enough.
have a question for you off topic.
Yes.
What's the difference between a McChicken and a McCrispy?
The type of chicken, I believe. I think McChicken uses grilled chicken. McCrispy uses the crispy chicken, whatever that
Breaded.
actually means.
It is a different
Yeah.
breading.
Okay.
I also think the other has more of a chicken breast to it than necessarily the other one. Like the other one is kind of pressed meat.
Oh.
Yeah, like it's still
Um.
chicken. It's just, it's gone through a, been pressed, and it's a giant chicken nugget.
Oh, well, I don't want that. I'm ordering DoorDash while we're talking because if I
Yeah.
the stream's already 3 minutes late and I'm afraid that they're going to close on me, so make sure I get my order in.
Yeah, the other burger will have more of a texture of a chicken.
And Frosted knows a word that can apply to all of these people. And I know the word too, but I'm not allowed to say it on YouTube. So I will be the bigger man and not say it.
All right. Well, it's 3 minutes after. I'm hungry. I'm sure Terry's hungry.
Yes.
So we'll go ahead and get out of here unless you guys had any questions.
Not really.
No, I'm good.
Like the only thing I was going to end with was basically like most of the stuff that I've said is stuff that I've heard, from Black people. So I don't know if I'm saying the right stuff. I don't know if the stuff I'm saying is accurate. All I have is to go by is what the left told me, and they said to listen to people of color, and so I did. Sorry if they were all conservatives, though.
Yeah.
All right. Let me go ahead and get out of here. Thanks, fam, as always, for chatting with us tonight. Can't wait for the next Wednesday show. Remember, the Minions are live every evening, including weekends, with most shows starting around 11:30 p.m. Eastern. I'm reading fast because I'm hungry. 7 days a week. Host and start times are linked in the description down below. Don't forget about the Rumble pre-show. The stream will generally start about half an hour before YouTube, and that's where we have all the fun. You could have heard the music for the show at that point. We can probably still do that, like next week. Play it for the people who are on Rumble instead of doing it before we go live. Of course, we'll be back next Wednesday at 9 p.m. as usual. I hope you guys enjoyed the show. We'll see you again next week. Have a great night.
See you later, guys.
Have a good one, guys.